All right, hey guys, sorry I'm not there today. Let's go through your team task here. So, the first problem says calculate the area and the perimeter of the shape below. Well, before I can do that, I need to find out what these missing sides are over here. So, I know that this full side is 15. I know that this is 10. So this side right here needs to be the difference between 10 and 15, which is 5. Same idea is going to go for this missing side over here. So this full side is 10. I know this is 4. So this right here is going to be the difference between 10 and 4. It's going to be 6. So perimeter is just adding them all up. 10 plus 10 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 15. And I would group them. So I would do 20. I'd probably group the 4 and the 6 make 10 plus 5 is 15. And that's going to be 50 centimeters because it's distance. And for area, we got to break it up. I'm going to choose to break it up here. You could have done it differently. If I break it up here, this part inside is 10 times 10, which is 100. And this side over here is 5 by 6, which of course is 30. So the area would be 100 plus 30, or 130 centimeters squared. Cool. And number 2. Solve the generic rectangle puzzle below by filling in the missing factors and areas. So every one of these boxes has 3 parts. It has an outside, another outside, and then the area inside. So I look for the ones that have 2 of the 3, and then I can figure out the missing ones. 40 and 2 are here. So I know the inside of this box is 40 times 2. That would be 80. 2 times something is 6. So if I divide 6 by 2, I know it's 3. Now I know 3 times what is 300. It's 100. That also tells me now that 40 times 100 would be 4,000. And then I can come over here. 40 times what is 800. That's going to be 20. And then I can come down here, and 3 times 20 is 60. Now the two numbers being multiplied, this top number is going to be 100 plus 20 plus 2. So it's 122 times 40 plus 3, which is 43. And my end result is going to be, after I add all these up, so it's 4,000 plus 800. I'm going to go down a little bit. Sorry for the little jump there. My iPad got full. So I wrote out the sums of all these insides here. 4,000 plus 800 plus 300 plus 80 plus 60 plus 6. And that's going to be 4,000 plus, this would be 1,100 plus 146. I can write that as 5,246. Cool. Also, side note, I just watched a little bit of the video and I realized how much it jiggles. I don't know how to fix that right now, so I apologize for the jiggly video. All right, number 3. I helped you guys a lot with this in class, but make sure you can do this for the test tomorrow. Factored form is going to be when we write the inside as the sum of 3 different digits. So 5 times 400 plus 10 plus 2. Make sure the parentheses are around that whole thing. When we distribute the 5 to each of these, it's going to be 5 times each one of those terms. It's going to look like that. Simplified form, I'm going to multiply each one. So 2,000 plus 50 plus 10. And then my final product is going to be when I multiply them. So 2,060. I'm going to write those up in the answer key too, but I'm just going to keep going for time. All right, moving to the back. We factor this expression here by using a distributive property in reverse. So we need to pull out the biggest number possible. A lot of you pulled out 9. That's great. I think I gave you half credit on that, but it's actually the biggest number that comes out of both of these is 27. So 27 times 2, I'll use my calculator to show it to you quickly. 27 times 2 is 54. And then 27 times 3 is 81. So I can actually pull out a 27. And like I said, times 2 equals 54. And times 3 equals 81. So remember, this is the number on the outside that I pulled out. These are what's left behind, and these were my original numbers. So it would look like this. Oh, I almost wrote the wrong thing. 2 plus 3. Oh, I'm sorry. This is actually my expression. I should have written it here. There you go. Find the greatest common factor of 48 and 72 by listing all the factors of both numbers. There's quite a few for each of these. 48, every number has itself as a factor. Then the first one I usually do, if it's an even number, is I write half of that number, because that's the biggest number it's going to go into it that isn't itself. For 48, we also have 16 times 3. We have 12 times 4. 8 times 6. So then also 6, which I actually almost missed on my answer key. Excuse me. 4, because of the 4 times 12. 3, because of the 3 times 16. And 2, because 2 times 24. And then 1. 72, we do the same thing. I start with 72. Half of 72 is 36. The next one is actually 24. 24 times 3, just for the sake of time, is 72. 18 is going to go into 72 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 12 goes 6 times. 9 goes 8 times. 8 goes 9 times. And then we have, what did I say, 12 times 6, 18 times 4, 24 times 3, 36 times 2, and then 72 times 1. So the greatest common factor, the biggest in here that they both share, is 24. All right, find the greatest common factor of 140 and 28. I think I got a few 14s on this. 14 is a common factor, but actually the biggest one is 28. So again, I'll just use my calculator to help you out here. So 140 divided by 28, it actually goes 5 times evenly. So 28 actually is the greatest common factor here. All right, stem and leaf plot. Stem and leaf plot looks like this. I put my stems on the left, my leaves on the right. Oops. Put a T in leaves. I'm going to start with my lowest leaf is 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to include 6, even though it doesn't have one in here with a 6, but you still include the ones in between. And then I just go through my numbers here. So my lowest number is 25. So I'm going to put a 5. Then I have 2 28s and a 29. That should be all my 20s. My 30s start with 34, 35, 37. I believe that's all my 30s. My 40s involve 40, 43, 44, and 48. Make sure we're doing these in order. Going up. And then the 50s are 50, 51, 57. It's actually kind of risky what I just did there. Sometimes I miss one when I cross them out. There's no 60s, so I just leave that blank. And then I have 73. There's your stem and leaf plot. Look at the bar graph below. How many students were surveyed? Each bar, we know the frequency from how high it is. So this is the number that I want to know. So if I want the total number, I'm just going to add these up. So this first bar is 8. The next one is 8. Green had 14. And purple had 6. So we add those all up. 16 plus 14 plus 6 should be 36 students. And then finally here, on number 9, this was tough because we gave you a stem and leaf and a histogram, but then this one is not neither of those. So describe which type of data display is best with the following data. These numbers are all close to each other. So we don't want to use a histogram. Actually, we didn't have a histogram example here, but we don't want to use a histogram because that's more for ranges of data. Stem and leaf plots are for bigger numbers that are further apart from each other. And a bar graph is for categories. So this is actually going to be a dot plot here. So if I were going to make this, and it actually just says decide, so you don't actually have to make it. But if I were going to, I could make a dot plot. My lowest number, I believe, is 8, 9, 10, 11. Is my highest number 12? I think it is. And then we can make our dots go up from here. I'm not actually going to take the time to do that, but you can see that I can fit all the data comfortably here in a small portion like this. So remember on your test, think about stem and leaf, histograms, bar graphs, and dot plots. All right, that's all our review. Go ahead and look at your rest of your work for the rest of the day, and good luck tomorrow on the test.